All right, new day and new dredging. Let's check it out. So here is our access off of the main road. We got to go across a greenway trail. What I'm going to do is come in here and strip all the grass off. We're going to build a road down the hill here. Those are the mats I just unloaded, and then go down the hill here. What I've got to do is scrape all the grass off. We're going to put down fabric, and I'm going to come down here and actually notch this road into the hill here. I'm going to cut it down about four feet or so, kind of get this level, so the trucks can come in down the hill. Then I can sit down here with the machine and load out all the mud. I've got to dig out from pretty much the rock right here all the way out there and around. So these trees are strictly forbidden. I can trim some, but I couldn't remove any. And then this is like a very cherished willow tree from something that's like was planted in remembrance of a child that died or something. So they're at the very off limits of getting around there. I got a little path I can come through here to access the other side, but I pretty much got to go from that rock and remove all this 4 feet deep, return it back to original depth. So that's sticking out of the water about a foot, so probably about 5 feet has got to come out right here, because the pond is at normal level right now. So hopefully it's all sand, shouldn't be too bad. We're going to start draining the water out today and get the road put in. Come back when the lake or pond is dried or drained down some. I'm going to go out here and start laying all this sand back, mud, let it dry out some. We'll probably have the 220 sitting right here loading trucks, and probably bring the 160 over here to run around out in the pond and keep it transferred up here to the machine to load out. Or either have the 160 loading out and the 220 bailing, whatever works out for the best. But anywho, this is what I've got to do today. We'll take some before and after pictures. started on the access road down here to the pond. I'm going to start scratching the topsoil and grass off, stockpile it so that I have something fairly clean to put back when I'm all done. A lot of rock in it. I can tell when they put all that rock in that they just, whatever was covered up in the ground or whatever got kind of spilled, they cover it up with topsoil. That's going to be a pain in the butt to grade out. Look at that. Oh God. Well, so much for having some nice clean topsoil. So this happens a lot. You get people that don't know how to put rock in. And they probably dumped it all out on the shoreline here and mixed it all in with the dirt. And they said, we don't have any good skilled help here, so we'll just cover it all up with dirt and pretend that it's not there. And then I get to come back 20 years later, 15 years, however long this place has been here, and discover it. It's okie dokie though. I'll rake it out with a mini and I don't know. Probably get some clean dirt and put back on top of it. Look at it, ain't nothing but rock. I'm not allowed to break the branches on the trees, so we must swing this way. So I'll strip off whatever topsoil I can and then kind of notch the clay out and build my road out of it. Great, all this rock. At least it should kind of build somewhat of a decent base for the road. I mean, maybe I ought to leave it. There aren't any utilities in the area for once. That's a lot of wasted rock. Scraping this grass off, and then I'll start working my way backwards, cutting the road in, and then I guess I'll lay that back over top. I'm not exactly sure how I want to do that just yet. I'll figure it out as I go. You kind of just gotta make what you have work out. Probably need to pull some of that dirt back and soften this slope. Because I don't need the road to be any steeper than this. Probably ought to just level this up and kind of continue it on around since I don't have to dig anything out right there. think that's what I'm gonna do. To get this grass off, I'll go in there and cut that dirt, bring it back, level the road up, soften the slope. And then I'll probably end up cutting this and piling it up there and having to come all the way down there with the skid steer to scoop it up, bring it up here and pile it up. Back now. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. Actually, when you pile up dirt like this, all the rock will kind of separate itself out a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and make my life a touch bit easier for later on and rake some of this rock out and use it for the base of my road. It's not much, but it's, you know, 40 or 50 pieces of rock I won't have to try to pick out later on. Smash it down into the ground where it already was and use it as my road base. Now I can just track this in. I'm going to pull some dirt out. See how steep this is? I'm going to soften the slope a little bit. I'm going to dig out about probably 3 feet of the high side and put it on the low side. Rock they wasted, the kind of wasteful. They couldn't get somebody to clean up rock better than that. Maybe there was old rock in there, and I don't know. I mean, this is imported rock. This is not natural rock. We don't have this type of granite in the area that matches the boulders. Make sure I don't swing into the fence. Oof, that didn't sound good. I'm up on those boulders, rocks, whatever you want to call them. Turned a little bit. I'm going to notch the hill back and take my way back. Then I'm tracking in with this and the skid steer. Before we put fabric and stone on top of it. So I literally took out like 5 bucketfuls of topsoil, and I scraped out almost 3/4 of a bucket of rock out of it. Wasteful. But it will build a good road. A little rough digging. Has arrived for the construction entrance. Let me go put that in real quick. Oh, bumpy. There goes my back. First load. When you get crushed concrete from the concrete plant, it doesn't come with all the junk in it that you get at a landfill. Pretty good pile. Looks almost like ABC. Pretty good little pile of stone. Crushed concrete's lighter than the crushed granite. So I got all my grass and topsoil and rocks piled up here, so I can save this to backfill and clean up everything when I'm done with the job. And a little more fabric put out. I'm going to go ahead and finish spreading this crushed concrete and get some more room for another load. outside. So I scraped what grass I could off. Where's all the rock at? That's like the first bucket full of no rock. I guess I'm far enough past it they didn't waste anymore. I'll notch out a little bit of a bigger area down there because that's where the machine's going to have to sit. And I'm going to need room to obviously spin around and move around and everything. Bad though. Yeah, this will work fine. I can sit right here, track over the edge and reach not quite halfway across, but I'll lay that over and then I'll have another machine here to transfer it. Keep having to drive a machine in and out of the pond. You just track so much mud and make your road such a mess. I'm in suburbia. I can't be tracking mud out in the road. They don't like that too much. Notch down there and I'll pretty well have this little construction road cut into the hillside. Kind of glad I got a little bit of cleaner dirt now to rake over all this rock. It's funny how you can just kick the road out flat a little bit. See how much dirt it takes. Just looking at this, you wouldn't think that there would be enough dirt to fix that hillside back. But there is. I need to go down here and do the moment of truth and see how miserable my life's going to be as far as how deep that mud is. Reach out there and stick the bucket in there and see what I'm working with. I have no idea. Here we go. Well, that's going to be nice if it stays that solid. Jack the machine up with the teeth. Give that a A+ right there. Hell yeah. This is gonna be alright. That sand's packed in here like concrete. Finally. One that's not going to be a nightmare. I bet it gets soft out there though. Yeah, I'll be able to go right on top of that with the mats. Lay that right over. Perfectly splendid. Alrighty, I'm excited now. It's gonna turn to soup out there though. We're bringing the concrete pump for that one. the construction entrance is in. I got to get a load of clean stone to put on top of that. I got the path cut in and stone put all the way down to the machine. Pretty much the trucks will back down here. The machine will sit right there. I'll reach out there and load them. I'll have another machine out there in the pond transferring mud up here to the edge so that I can run up and down here and load it into the trucks. It should go pretty easily. Everything's so sandy, I think it's going to dry out well and not be quite as sloppy as it normally is. We shall see, though. I don't think this has ever been done, dredged out before. Looks like a lot of coarse rock. We're going to drain the water down and then do a assessment of it. This has been in the works for like 4 years, and the sediments probably almost doubled. I wouldn't say double, but I'm sure all this is silted in because I'm pretty much walking on what used to be pond. Nature restoring itself. Look how shallow that is. We were supposed to stop somewhere about the fence right here, but as you can tell, the sand just keeps on going. It looks like it drops off pretty steeply right in there, but you're talking another 30-40 truckloads right in here though. And the stone is spread, ready to load up the skid steer, and we got the siphons going, draining the pond down. We'll be back first of next week, weather permitting.